Welcome, everyone, to the 101st edition of Master Mike's Wrestling Paradise. I am your host, Master Mike Ambrose, and let's start off the show with some big news thing. We had WWE Raw to Netflix. For big money, like $5 billion neighborhood, $5 billion. Netflix played more for Raw than Disney, put in this comments, than Disney did for the Marvel and Star Wars franchises. So that's big money. Obviously not together, but the amount each. Netflix paid more for Raw than what Disney did for Star Wars and Marvel. Each theirs. I think WWE was like $5 billion and Marvel and Star Wars was $4 billion each. So that's a lot of money. And then big news too, Dwayne Rock Johnson's on the board of directors for the TKO. And obviously, he has control of his name, The Rock. He was on First Take talking about it. He was on CNBC, all the networks, all the business shows talking about in sports. So it's a big story. Obviously, it is a big story. And staying on Monday, Nick Khan, president of WWE, went on Pat McAfee and said, Raw as of right now is staying on Mondays. So this is going to be big. It's a big story, and, obviously it's streaming. It might be able to be less money commercial, no commercial, I mean. You obviously have to pay to streaming. So I don't have Netflix now, but it looks like I'm going to be paying for it starting next January in 2025. And I don't know what day in January 25 it started, but it started in January 25. So in January 2025, and this should be a big year for W. And we also have the Raw review. Speaking of which, countdown to WrestleMania will be starting pretty soon. The road to WrestleMania starts this Saturday at the Rumble. And by the way, I'm going to do another show on the Rumble on Friday or Saturday because we have those shows and want to see what happens there. And I'll make my predictions for the Rumble on Saturday afternoon. Raw started with Seth Rollins coming out. He has his issue with the knee. And Wrestler looks like he's about to say something regarding WrestleMania. Gunther comes out. Gunther says, sorry, you're not going to make WrestleMania. But then Seth Rollins said, you interrupted what I was going to finish saying because I'm not listening to doctors. I'm going to rehab this knee. And I'm going to go to WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. So we got that all set up. And I don't know who's going to face. Could be Gunther. Could be CM Punk. Could be anybody. Gunther, obviously had a big night. Imperium against New Day, which was a hell of a fight. It ended with New Day sending Imperium through tables in the stands over with the people in the audience. It was quite a scene. Going through a table, it was something. And the big news, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. And what an event that was. We had CM Punk challenging Cody. No, not CM Punk, Cody Rhodes going back to back on the mic. Punk bringing up, the past with his father, Dusty, and all that. And how Cody, was the son of a plum, was Dusty's son, and he had advantages, and how Punk grew up, his father was an electrician, and Punk saying, I'm more the American Dream than you are. And then Cody brought up the pipe bomb, which we all know, and how when Punk said he was going to do this and that, he took his ball and went home, and then Cody did all that stuff. He went to New Japan, Ring of Honor, started AEW, and all the indies, yada, yada, yada. And then comes back to WWE, obviously, and it's doing successfully. And Punk always said, you became a big star. And Punk came back. Obviously, Cody left AEW, signed WWE. Punk obviously was fired a couple months ago. We all know that story. And now they're both back in WWE, and what a segment it was. AEW let those guys go. I don't know. Gotta make Tony Khan look like a dope. Or, doesn't know what he's doing, Tony Khan, which I don't think. He's not like Triple H. Bill Belichick out as Patriot head coach. Mayo in as head coach. Bill Belichick out as Patriot head coach as expected. And, Jerod Mayo is the successor. Jerod Mayo is going to be head coach. And obviously, Kraft, Robert Kraft and his son Jonathan, they had this succession plan. They said this was going to work out, that Mayo was going to be head coach of the Patriots, sometime down the line, whenever Bill would leave. And obviously, Bill left this year because last years haven't been that great. Belichick's legacy, you can't deny it. He took over a team that had a great talent, and the quarterback that wasn't that great. I mean, it was good, very good, but not great. Not going to win your Super Bowl. And Drew Bledsoe got injured, badly injured. And he's okay, by the way, so obviously he survived. Obviously, years ago, he survived, and, he's doing well in his own life. But, Tom Brady came in, and boom, took the quarterback job and he ran with it. Was the first Super Bowl, and from there they just keep winning and winning to be successful. They won 6 Super Bowls. They went to 9 altogether. They won division title. They went to the AFC Championship games almost every year. It seemed like playoffs every year practically. I think from the time Brady was a starter to the last year that Belichick Brady were together, which was 2019, they only missed the playoffs twice. They made the playoffs every year in between that. They also made Super Bowls a lot of years. Won 6 Super Bowls in that time span. And obviously it was a dynasty. It built the region up, and Boston. It rubbed off on the Boston because they all been winning. They've all been successful and going to championships, winning titles every year, contending. Although the Red Sox right now aren't doing anything. Bruins and Celtics still look like they're doing something spectacular. Well, not something not so extent, but they're having great records. Bruins are the best record, Celtics the best record. They're both favorites to win the titles this year. So you obviously the Stanley Cup in the NBA. So we should see what goes down there. But the Patriots started it all this century, and you can't forget it. You can't deny it. Belichick's the greatest coach ever, I think. No one comes close. Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. No one comes close. And, Kraft's a great owner, but, I think he wanted to control the team, him and Jonathan, so they got control now. Where he goes next, Belichick, who knows? He's been interviewed the Atlanta Falcons twice, but it's the only hot job. And Dallas and Philly, they didn't fire their coaches. Belichick would have perfect one of there. They didn't do well in the playoffs. They lost the first round. And Buffalo, made a mistake the last game. They're always like an upper team, but they haven't fired their coach yet. I don't know if they would, because I think Bill Belichick would be a great hire for the Bills, Cowboys, or Eagles. Other news: Kazuchika Okada is a free agent. Looks like, and big star in New Japan, one of the most successful wrestlers, Japanese wrestling this century, is leaving. And it looks like he's going to WWE. NXT start. Get used to the American style for a few months. Then he comes to the main roster. He could be a star. This guy was a big star in Japan, and obviously New Japan has fallen on hard times the last couple of years. When obviously, AEW started up, a lot of their talent's gone there, and WWE got a few guys, But, I think Okada going to WWE could be big. For a lot of the guys that have left New Japan going to AEW, but he'd be like one of the first. I think there might be another one, so I'm not sure, but he'd be like the first big name to go to WWE and from New Japan in a while. Speaking of which, say the WWE says the 40th anniversary. Oddly enough, with all this going on with Raw and Netflix, since they made this happens, announcement happens on the day of the 40th anniversary of Hulkamania being born. Of course, Hulk Hogan won the WWF title on this day, January 23rd, 1984, so 40 years ago. I was 4 at the time. I didn't start watching wrestling later on in the year, maybe 85, but, you can't deny the impact on wrestling it had. Hulk Hogan won the title, and Vince, they went national. There was a year later, WrestleMania. Well, it was something. Hulk Hogan's a legend. Say what you want about him, but he's a legend. And that's that for the show. Well, I'm watching the baseball in the background. Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Adrian Beltre were the 3 former players announced to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame. I had Manny Ramirez as a pick. He didn't get in. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez didn't get in. Carlos Beltran didn't get in. A lot of guys didn't get in, so the only 3 this year, so you shall see. Todd Helton played a lot of his career in Colorado with the Thin, and he got a lot of hits. So Joe Mauer had a good run with Minnesota. Adrian Beltre is a consistent player, but I think Manny Ramirez, he won 2 World Series. He was a great power hitter, one of the best I've ever seen, and him and A-Rod, no, not even that. Him and David Ortiz were a 1-2 combination for the Red Sox all those years. Incredible. All right, well, I'll get going now. NXT tonight. I'll be talking to you I got a show Saturday, and we'll talk about the Royal Rumble then. So, just a little tease for Saturday. I'll see you later. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.